up before, okay? It's not a new thing. What God revealed to me as I was writing the book, The Kingdom of Heaven. Okay? The midst of writing the book, it was the idea of writing the book. Then this appeared. Okay? This appeared. And we're going to be looking at it. Why is delay important? And it is very important that I myself wondered about this. Vis-a-vis the next slide, please. The revelation of this cross. Okay? Vis-a-vis the revelation of this cross. I looked at it and said, why is it that God delays? And what attracted my attention to it is the coming of Jesus Christ. You see, nobody knows the day of or the time, okay? And we've been waiting for it and waiting for it. So I was studying that. And when you read the book, you will see how I explain that, okay? So that delay, what for? So at the end, we look at the delay in Adam. After the sin, God came. There's delay in Moses. He stayed on the mountain for 40 days, okay? They were tired and began to worship the what? The calf. He always waits when you're tired. Why? And when you don't learn from this, your faith, I'm telling you, this is the foundation of the destruction of your faith. When you don't learn from this belief, they began to worship the idol. Then Moses appeared, coming down from the mountain. Elijah, the same thing. Okay? Elijah, the same thing. His ministry was the ministry of punishment. He was punishing Israel, directed by God to do so. Okay? Then he complained. Then God said, okay, choose a successor. And he chose the successor. God directed him to a successor. He chose him. And if you study the ministry of Elisha, you know, I've been studying the ministry of Elisha for many years, and we did a Bible study on that. But one thing that came to me during this sermon is that Elisha was the encourager. When you look at all the miracles of Elisha, okay, he was instead an encourager. He wasn't a punisher. Okay? He wasn't a person who meted judgment. Elijah meted judgment most of the time, except to some individuals. But for Israel, he meted judgment. But for Elisha, he was more of an encourager. He helped Israel out of problems, even though the kings were not always what they needed to be. And the king of Israel was busy doing what he wanted to do. Then suddenly he received a letter from Elijah. Okay? So why delay? Why delay? That's the question. So we have delay in all these three. And so we see the ministry of these two appearing to Jesus Christ on the mountain of transfiguration. Okay? So now we have a delay that is yet to come. That is the question. Jesus is yet to come. And he too is saying nobody knows the day nor the hour. And I will come like a thief in the night. Okay? And this is what he is saying. The parable of the what? 5 virgins, okay? The 10 virgins. He will come when nobody expects. So the final delay is yet to happen. So why is delay so important? Let's continue, please. What is its role? When you study it, miracles are not mandatory. Praise the Lord. Miracles are not mandatory. God promises us, has given us all we need for life and godliness. Spiritual miracles are not mandatory. God did not intervene when Satan was deceiving them. Why? Okay? Which other one? Moses must have died on the mountain. Somebody, a wild animal must have killed him. Okay? So they lost faith. We must now go back to what we are used to. Just worship the mundane things. God is no longer there. They lost faith because they didn't see any instantaneous intervention by God. to bring Moses back. Elijah, this one was less so. But if you see his ministry, it was a ministry of thunder and lightning, okay? The fire came from heaven, consumed the meat, the sacrifice. And they had to see that miracle, and they fell down on their knees and say, the Lord is God, okay? The Lord is God. But immediately after, what happened? Rain came down also, remember? Rain that didn't fall for 3 years. But immediately after, what happened? Jezebel wrote a letter and said, look, I will come to you. She sent him a message. I will come, and if I catch you, you're in trouble. You have killed all my prophets. So Elijah ran away after all those miracles. And what was God trying to tell him? That is not the main thing. It is faith. Praise the Lord. Whether you see God's miracles or not, do you believe already? And Romans chapter 1 verse 1 to 23 to 26 explain this. That God condemns people not for anything, but that they have already seen the wonderful things that he has done and still don't believe.